Welcome to episode 11 of the World of Screens podcast, a special episode today as Josh and I are going to be breaking down and reviewing the first two episodes of Alien Earth, which have just dropped on Disney Plus today. My name's Nicola Barrow, the founder and film editor at World of Screens. I'm joined again by Josh Barry, the TV editor at World of Screens. Josh, how are you today?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Are you pumped? Are you pumped up now, having finally seen one of the most anticipated shows of the year?
Yeah, I have to say I was super keen for this.
Yes, I remember it came
Yeah,
up on the episode you were on a few weeks ago as
yeah.
one of
I
the
mean,
the
I
shows you
have
really
stayed
wanted.
away from most of the trailers and stuff. I didn't
Yep,
really want to, and I'm not going to call myself the biggest Alien fan, but
sure.
I just thought this looked good. I'm a big fan of Timothy Olyphant as well, so that
Love him, and he will
yeah,
definitely come up in the conversation today. Noah
yeah,
Hawley as well.
yeah. So I'm a
We've
big fan
touched
of
on,
yeah. He's really good.
so we'll definitely definitely be singing the
Good
praises of both
hands.
of those guys as we talk about it. Before we get
Yeah,
into our Alien Earth review, it's a bit of housekeeping. If you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. It helps us. Leave a comment as well. What did you think of the first two episodes of Alien Earth? And if you head to worldofscreens.com, subscribe to the emailing list. You'll never miss a review. You'll never miss an article. You'll never miss a competition. We're giving
a
away tickets.
competition. Yeah, free
We're
cinema
giving away
ticket. Who doesn't want
so
free
many
cinema ticket?
tickets. And this is the best way to find out because you will find out first when the competitions are coming through if you subscribe
Yeah.
to worldscreens.com and head to Instagram at World of Screens and you can follow us there and see everything we are doing. All the help is incredibly, all the support is incredibly helpful and we're very thankful for it. But Alien Earth.
We have a downed spacecraft.
I want what's on that ship.
We can do it. We're fast, we're strong, we don't break.
It's like a zoo, but the animals got out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe.
Monsters.
When the space vessel Maginot crash lands onto Earth, a young woman and a ragtag group of tactical soldiers make a discovery that puts them face to face with the planet's biggest threat. So, this is a science fiction horror television series, as we said, created by Noah Hawley, who I think most famously probably is known for Fargo, the
Yeah,
TV series.
Fargo. Yeah, I watched Legion as well. The
I have heard Legion's very good. It's one that's it's a
yeah,
blind spot for me, but I've heard it's great.
yes, yeah. So yeah, he's done some good stuff.
And it's based on the Alien franchise. So, in the timeline of Alien, this is a prequel set in the year 2120. So, it's 2 years before the events of the first Alien film of Ridley
Yeah,
Scott's Alien.
yeah.
The show stars Sidney Chandler, Alex Lawther, Essie Davis, Samuel Blanken, Babu Sasay, Adash Garav, and Timothy Oliphant. So I mean, similar to you, I didn't watch many of the trailers coming into this. I was just kind of excited,
Yeah,
based on just the general hype around it.
yeah,
I know an Alien series has been in development for a long time. There's been talks about doing one of these for probably almost the better part of a decade, I would say.
yeah. Okay,
Um,
okay.
and I think it's gone through many hands. Ridley Scott was pretty much attached to it at some point as well. But
Yeah.
we obviously have landed on Noah Hawley.
Mm.
General first thoughts. First two episodes we've now watched. What was the general first thoughts around the show now you've watched it?
The first episode, especially the start, I just was transported back to the first film. Like I think
It's incredible.
they did such a good job of that, of them sort of waking up and then just
Mm.
having dinner around that table. I felt like I was watching maybe almost like a deleted scene from the
It
original film.
it's uncanny valley how well it's been replicated. Just
Yeah,
if the editing
yeah,
as well of just these sort of like seamless fades into the next scene, the pacing of it, the eerie
yeah.
music.
The
Uh,
music,
if it
yeah.
was shot on film, I wouldn't be surprised because it looks
Right. I was gonna
incredible.
ask. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know that just yet, but just this very much this
Especially that first
homage.
that scene we're talking about feels really grainy and filmy. Yeah.
And this scene that we're talking about is taking place on the Magonaut, which is a ship going through space. It's actually we're not on Earth yet at all,
No.
and we find out over time in the first episode that they are carrying a lot of alien creatures, not necessarily just the xenomorph or the facehuggers, but a lot of different alien creatures.
Specimens.
Specimens, that's right. That's it. The word is used. The word specimen is the word of the day with these two shows. But we also find out in this first bit, which I thought was, I agree, I thought it was genuinely incredible, and the recreation of that aesthetic. I was locked in, like immediately locked in.
Yeah.
We find out that there are three different sort of species in the future. We got cyborgs. We have, I can't remember the first one. I should have written it down. Cyborgs, but then the other one is hybrids.
Yes.
Which is something new in the alien universe, in which human consciousness is now being put into robotic bodies, which I thought was very interesting, because we get this like weird dynamic early on between the cyborgs and the humans, and there's no hybrids on this ship that we know of yet. And there was just this like eerie tension between everyone as well, that I was kind of like, oh, some shit's about to go down, which I thought was cool. So you get these like cool character dynamics early.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the strongest part of it. I think especially for that first episode.
Yes.
As I was watching it, I sort of kept thinking, this is definitely going to be the week to week on the socials talk of everyone. I feel like this is going to be the next deep dive sort of program of, who's going to be this, who's doing what, that. So,
well, yeah, without giving too much away, I really enjoyed the fact that over these two episodes, and we'll talk more in depth about the characters themselves as we go along, but Wendy and Hermit are the only two characters right now, and probably the other hybrids who are introduced, are the only two characters I actually trust to be good people.
Yeah.
Everyone else I'm so on the fence about, which is great. It's a show really, that I'm kind of sitting there going like, who's going to be the arbiter of the most chaos, and who's going to be the villain outside of the xenomorph. I think that's kind of cool that it's been set up that way.
I really like that.
I really liked as well in this first, so it's probably like the first 5 to 7 minutes, which is sort of set upon this ship. And I love that we get these, and I'm curious to know whether we'll see more of it in the future, but we get these interspliced little cuts of death and carnage and gore and all these people on the ship getting killed.
Yeah.
Like we just immediately find out all these characters are pretty much expendable. They're all going to die, and we might see it in the most chaotic way later on. So it hooks you in immediately. I thought that was really cool and really well done.
Yeah.
But then we move into Wendy's storyline, who I think is probably safe to say like the main character.
Yeah.
That's what I got from these two episodes anyway.
Obviously it kind of starts off with her as her human child self. Obviously there's some Peter Pan themes and
Neverland is a big reoccurring thing.
Yeah. So she chooses the name Wendy for her,
which I thought was nice. It was sweet. That's another heartbreaking thing. We obviously see obviously this girl who is Marcy has what is alluded to later as cancer, basically. And they take her consciousness and put it into a teenage body. And immediately what I got from that, well, not a teenage body, sorry, a young adult body, I should say. The exploring the morality and the relationship between human and synthetic and sort of emotion versus non-emotion, especially with some things that Timothy Oliphant's character sort of talks about.
Yes.
I got a real like Alex Garland style of exploration. It's something he's really into. If you look at like Ex Machina and Annihilation and things like that. I'm getting a lot of that vibe. I don't know if you feel the same.
100%. Definitely that. I mean, also Romulus, I think they've done really well.
Did you feel like watching Romulus again after watching this? I immediately was like, I think I'm going to watch Romulus tonight.
I did watch it a couple of months ago again.
Okay.
And loved it just as much. Time. So
I do need to watch it again because I did really enjoy it the first time. Yeah.
But I feel like that's sprinkled through it nicely as well, like where Hermit is going down and trying to get let out early of whatever job he's doing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I didn't make that connection actually initially with the whole.
That reminded me of where they're doing that at the start of Romulus. Yeah.
Interesting. So I mean, and that's what I kind of like. There is a lot of characters in this show, but I think the ones we're focusing on, especially with Hermit and Wendy, I really like that core central relationship because it's brother and sister ultimately is what the which isn't a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. You kind of figure that out pretty early on.
Which is also similar to Romulus. I know,
Very similar. Yeah.
yeah, it's really similar actually, isn't it? Because
Mm.
it's her the the android in that is basically her brother. Well,
Brother
she
as well.
was her
Yeah.
brother. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
So
interesting parallels,
yeah,
but I mean,
yeah,
I'm intrigued to see what that sort of exploration is. The end of the second episode sort of leaves us with a bit of like that's probably the direction we're gonna go, which I like
yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
That was
outs
really Romulus.
that was
Like,
very Romulus, that
yeah,
ending actually. Yeah,
yeah,
now I really
yeah,
want to watch it again. You really
yeah,
got me thinking about
yeah,
Romulus a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
But I feel like this is probably what we expected from an Alien series,
Yeah,
where we get this
yeah,
sort of fleshed out. Hey, this is going to be 8 episodes long, and it would be weird if we didn't sort of fill the gaps with this interesting look between humans and robots and conscious versus, or this existential sort of look at, what is being and, what is purpose and stuff. So
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
intrigued
mean,
by that.
obviously that's quite in depth in like Prometheus and stuff as well.
Yes,
Like, so yeah, I mean, as a whole, I think these first two episodes are like really, really strong start.
I agree.
They
I
look,
agree.
they look incredible. Like, I just was
Oh my God. This
so
is
cinematic.
Oh, I did write down, it's like, of course it looks this good when you have Disney money. Like when you have Disney cash, this literally it looks incredible. Like the scene where the Magnaut crashes into Earth,
Yeah, 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 yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then all these practical sets inside the ship. There's this extended set piece that takes place in the second episode in an apartment building that I thought
yeah,
was truly, it looked truly incredible.
yeah.
So it looks cinematic. The set design is great. The costume design is great. What really wowed me was how good the xenomorph looks,
Yes,
considering how little of it we see.
yes, 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 yeah,
There's a few times where characters get pinned down by the xenomorph, and I was like, this looks amazing.
it does. It
And it's
really
a
does.
scary creature that when
Yeah,
it's sort of trying to break into the control room in the first
yeah, yeah,
episode, I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like, this is what it needs. This needs to be a terrifying creature. And
yes,
it
yes.
truly is. It looks great, I thought.
Yeah, I was really happy. I was probably taken a bit back. I probably didn't think we'd get that much xenomorph in,
No, that's
especially
a
in the
fair
first
point.
two episodes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a fair point,
yeah.
yeah.
But so I was, yeah, impressed how much they used it. So, and I think they used it really well. Yeah,
I think so too. It's effective and it's grotesque.
yeah,
But it gets
yeah.
even grosser when we see what some of the other what did you call them, Ellie? What did we call them? The specimens. The
Specimens,
specimens.
specimens.
When
Yeah,
we
yeah,
see what
yeah.
some of there's a scene with a specimen and a cat that I was like, oh,
Oh
they're
yeah,
going
yeah,
for this. I was like,
yeah.
this is not the PG-13 try and make
No,
some money alien. This is some Romulus violence. This is
yes,
some
yeah,
real
yeah.
fucking blood and gore. And that, which kind of brings me to another, like we've spoken about how it's sort of very, paying homage to the first Alien, has a lot of similarities to Romulus. I did get a lot of Aliens vibe with the military side of things.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
The testosterone filled workout scene where people are pumping cigars while bench pressing, giving shit to the medic who is Alex Lawther's character of Hermit. He's like the military medic.
Yeah,
And they're like picking on the puny guy, picking on the
yeah,
little guy.
yeah.
But I definitely got a lot of aliens from it as
Yeah,
well.
for sure, for sure. Yeah.
It seems like Noah Hawley has like a massive respect and love for these films and this series.
Yeah. I think it seems like a love for he's taken inspiration from all of them. It's like this
Totally, yeah.
amazing meld of each film, which I really liked. Yeah.
Loved it. And even down to we didn't mention it earlier on, we were talking about the opening scene, the title card and that
Yes.
slow reveal of it. And then the end credits of each episode are the same as Alien, the film. It's just this very simplistic
Yeah.
end credit scene.
Yeah.
Again, not spoiling too much, but the end of each episode or the end of the first two episodes have these like punk rock song
Yeah.
sort of, and
Yeah.
I kind of liked this inclusion of like modern music into the score is great, and the score
The
is that
score is
sort of
amazing.
eerie
Yeah.
synth sort of sci-fi. But
Yeah.
each episode ended with this like hectic. I don't know, what was your initial reactions to those? These like
Yeah, especially the second one. I was
second one
like,
was cool.
oh, this is cool.
And it's such a good way of being like, why do I have to wait a week? But then I'm also like, I'm excited. Like this is gonna be
Yeah.
my week to week
Yes.
show, and I haven't had one
Yeah.
of those since probably Severance. earlier this year, to be
yeah,
honest. Like,
for sure. Yeah, that like I said before, I really got even at the beginning of the first one,
mm,
especially by the time the second one ended, I'm like, this is gonna be the week to week for everybody. Like this is
totally.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and like looking at those run times, like I think the first episode was 66 minutes long, the
yeah,
second was about 55,
yeah,
and they were perfectly
yeah,
paced. I
yeah,
thought there's like we said, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of characters to deal with, but I didn't feel bogged down. I thought it moved really well. I
yeah,
thought I was immersed. I didn't think it was too quick either, which I like. I kind of
yeah,
felt like perfectly placed in this world.
yeah, I agree.
But then talking about all the characters, then we've got this eccentric trillionaire who is pretty much the guy who developed the technology to transfer the human conscious into synthetic into robot bodies, basically.
Yeah,
Boy Cavalier.
yeah.
What
Or
a
they
character name.
or they mentioned Boy Genius as well.
That's true. They did do.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
I just thought the Prodigy Corporation is the Wayland Yutani in
Yeah,
quotation marks of this. But I just, as soon as I said Boy Cavalier, I was like, I like that they're kind of going for this thing. Like there is this still these eccentricities, a
yeah,
100 years from now of these like nothing changes. Big
yeah,
tech and
yeah.
big corp don't change. And
Yeah,
what starts out as this sort of like, I'm trying to help, these kids who are terminally ill have longer lives and stuff. Once he gets word of the crash and the specimens that
yeah,
are on board,
yeah,
seeing
yeah,
that instant switch in him and being like, oh, we're about to do some crazy shit. I
yeah,
was like, okay,
yeah.
I'm excited to see where I would love for the
That
show
goes.
to, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited to see
yeah,
where it goes, but I would love potentially also for Noah Hawley to be like, almost fake out and be like, you think this guy is going to be the villain, but maybe he'll do something different. I don't know, but that
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
excites me as well, where
yeah,
I
yeah,
still don't know where I stand.
yeah.
Two characters and two performances I really want to mention as standouts. Essie Davis as
Yes,
Dame
yeah, yeah,
Sylvia,
yeah,
who she's kind of like this facilitator slash therapist for the children as they sort of, and once their consciousnesses are in the robot bodies, she's sort of like this therapist for them, and she's this brings this real humanity. She is human in
yeah,
the story,
yeah,
but then you've got Timothy Oliphant as Kirsch, who is a synthetic mentor and a synthetic a trainer, I think is what they call him. And watching them together and the sort of clash that they have over how they should be raising Wendy, I
yeah,
thought was very interesting too. And I don't know what Kirsch's end game or what his morality stance on it all is. And I kind of
yeah,
like the mystery behind that. But the
yeah,
performances are incredible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's his character's definitely the most elusive at the moment.
Very much so,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, really, he seems to be a bit up and down with stuff as well. So,
Just the way
um,
he talks to the kids when
yeah,
my initial thought was like, this is the Goonies meets Alien when they go
I
like, hey,
thought Goonies.
this is
Yeah,
Goonies as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
When he comes up and after the ship has crashed and he gets all the hybrid children to there, because at this point there's about 8 or 9 or 10
yeah,
of them,
yeah,
and he's like, hey, you guys are robots, we can kind of get you to do what we want. Let's go do a search and rescue mission. So
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
these children in these robotic bodies being like, hell yeah, let's do a search and rescue.
That's
But he
right.
says some dark shit to them about existence and like
Yeah,
who to
yeah,
save and who not to save and stuff,
yeah,
and
yeah. He does. Yeah, yeah,
ultimately putting children in peril.
yeah,
Again, like you said, it's elusive, and I don't
yeah,
know where he sort of stands.
yeah,
Again, Timothy Oliphant
yeah.
is
Oh,
incredible.
yeah, yeah. Just the way he walks around, man. I just love it.
I thought his physical performance was
Yeah,
amazing. I thought he
yeah,
was really great, and then his demeanor and tone of voice is just so monotone and so direct, and there's
yeah,
no, whereas Essie Davis's character is Sylvia, is very much more, has like a very high emotional intelligence and is sort of aware of how to talk to children, and I like
yeah,
that sort of
yeah,
dichotomy
yeah,
between the two of them. So
yeah. She's definitely feels like the most grounded out of.
mm,
Yeah,
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 I think apart from Boy Cavalier, might be the only full human in that sort of small crew of
yeah.
Prodigy Corporation people.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
we'll
Yeah,
see how that goes.
yeah,
But I appreciated the balance of the action and the more thematic stuff as well. I think
for sure.
it's an incredibly exciting show. Some of
Yeah,
those set pieces,
yeah. But I
some of
mean,
the
I was watching thinking I would love to see this in the cinema.
It would look incredible on the
Yeah.
big screen. It is just the way it's all put together. And Noah Hawley, I think, has a very interesting stylistic look, especially with the editing. There's a few scenes, and there was one where sort of Kirsch is doing a monologue where it's this intersplicing editing where you
Yeah.
can see him talking, but then we're watching a scene happening in another room, and it sort of
Yeah.
fades into each other.
Yeah.
And I just really liked the
And the
approach.
family sort of flashbacks and stuff.
The
The
family flashbacks are really interesting, and
yeah, but
that's
the,
what I
you're
was
right.
just,
The
that's what
way he
oh,
does
yeah.
that is really Noah Hawley.
No,
Yeah.
real Noah Hawley, but also when I started seeing the family flashbacks, it made me start thinking, oh, we're probably going to see what happened on the ship then
Yeah.
later in the show, and I feel like that's going to be like something very interesting to look out for. I'm not normally the sort of person to go ahead like ages and be like trying to figure out what's happening,
No.
but Noah Hawley directed the first episode,
Yes.
and he
yeah.
doesn't direct another episode till episode 5, and it's called
Okay.
In Space No One ... And I'm wondering whether that's going to be the episode.
Okay.
If that's
yeah.
just going to be the shit hits the fan, Xenomorph gets out on the ship, and that's how when it crashes into Earth. Because we know from this first episode there is one survivor on that
Yes.
ship, and it wasn't who I thought it was going to be, but then I liked who it was, and I liked the way they sort of played around with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very much so. So
what's the Morrow?
Morrow, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's another character I think we'll get a lot more to know and a lot more backstory. Maybe.
I'm wondering whether
I
that
think-
would be the episode. If that episode
Yeah.
5 will be like the Morrow episode, and we
Yes,
sort of see
yeah.
what his
Yeah, he
intentions
seems to
in-
know a lot. He's got some cool tools. I mean, that cocoon thingy.
The cocoon thing is
Yeah, yeah.
awesome, and then he has the flamethrower that comes out of his
Yeah.
hand to weld a door shut
Yeah,
early
yeah,
on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
there's some cool shit going
Yeah.
on, and he very much reminds me of the Ian Holm character. I'm trying to remember the character's name, but he gives me a bit of the Ian Holm
Yeah,
character
for
vibe
sure. Yeah.
from the first Alien. I loved these first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm hooked. I'm
Yeah,
hooked.
yeah.
How are you feeling going forward? Is there certain things what are you hoping to see sort of fleshed out, or character things that may come up in future episodes? What's sort of exciting you about continuing on?
Yeah, I think there's obviously with the flashbacks to the family, the baseball thing.
Oh, yes.
I'm not sure what that is about, but I feel like that's going to open up into something.
Yeah.
I had written down, the 2 characters I had were Timothy Oliphant's character and Morrow. I think they're the 2 that will throw out some surprises at
I think
some
so.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That excites me a lot.
Hermit as well. I feel like, I mean, he seemed to have some sort of instinct about some stuff.
Yes, and they're playing on that human element of it a lot as well, because I think that also comes up in the idea that instinct does help you in those situations, especially because a lot of those first 2 episodes are these very tense sort of search and rescue scenes when they're going into the ship, and then obviously they're going to that apartment building in the second episode.
Yeah.
And it's always Hermit's instinct that helps, as opposed to sometimes the hybrids who, again, to be reminded, they are children in these situations. But I think that'll be very interesting. I wonder how baseball comes into that. We also get a really touching, talking about the family flashback stuff. I love the way Ice Age is incorporated into this. I wasn't expecting that, but then it's used so sincerely. And I don't know if it was played for a laugh, but there is a scene where Hermit quotes something from Ice Age, and a little like flash up of Sid the sloth pops up. And I pissed myself laughing. Like, I knew it was very nice, but I was like, that's also quite on the nose and funny. I thought that was quite good. I similar to you, I'm very excited to see where Timothy Oliphant's character goes. I think that's the one, like I said, is the most elusive at the moment. And like I said, I want to be shocked with what happens with Boy Cavalier. I think Noah Hawley could do that, but even still, like, I think it's a really interesting character. And now we're kind of going to see the bond grow between Hermit and Wendy. Obviously, we know where the emotional core of the show is going to lie.
Yeah.
But man, I like, if this is as exciting as the action is in the first 2 episodes, if we're getting something like that each episode, we're in for potentially the show of the year for me so far.
It's definitely got that potential so far, for sure. Yeah.
So good. And I think the weekly release is very, very good. Hook us in, great hook in with 2 episodes, and then we've got 6 more to come. over the next 6 weeks, and I think it'll be a very
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. Just cinematic television at its best, but a really cool story and really cool themes getting explored. And I will be watching Alien Romulus tonight because of this film, because of how I want it to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our first thoughts on the first two episodes of Alien Earth. Nice and easy and quick. I think this is probably just something we try and do every week if we can.
Yeah.
We'll try and come around and chat about every episode
Yeah.
and sort of see where we are in 6 weeks from now. But
Yeah.
if you want to see more thoughts of it, there'll be some write-ups about it going on to worldofscreens.com, so make sure you go there. And while you're there, check out all our other reviews and TV reviews and articles and stuff. It's going gangbusters at the moment. We're having a really great week with the articles that are going up, and you guys are really enjoying it, which is awesome. So thank you for listening. Later this week, there will be another World of Screens podcast where we'll be reviewing Nobody 2 and The Life of Chuck. Pete will be back on for that one there. But in the meantime, worldofscreens.com, like, subscribe, all that fun jazz. And we will see you on the next episode of the World of Screens podcast.